Don't fuck with magical science, man. That shit is not a joke.
Good afternoon, Genesys gamers. I'm MBT, and this is 100 Point Playtesting. I've been saving this one for a rainy day. Everyone's got that one deck to which they find themselves inexplicably drawn, despite the fact that it is just unplayable. Magical Scientist is my white whale, and I'm just the whale to white on him. Presenting Scientist DRYTRON. So here's the list. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Looking for a place to find inspiration for Genesys decks? Well, look no further. I've already spent years telling you about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the best repository of deck lists, strategy articles, third-party assistance with alternate ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, and card collection management on the internet. But right now, it's also the best way to find Genesys lists. You can sort by deck type, filter high-level tournaments to see what's been working, and download decks you see in any format you desire. That's why I'm proud to be sponsored by www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to the video. With that, let's mess with Magical Scientist. Magical Scientist is a card that, inexplicably, is legal in Genesys. It's not even 100 points, it's 95! You could play a Ghost Ogre with those prices. I love this monster and was wholly dedicated to breaking him, but unfortunately I came upon a terrible truth in doing so. Most of the competent FTKs this guy goes through use link monsters, and the ones that don't go through pendulums. While I could play a terrible Allure Palace FTK, I just hung up my hat. And then immediately put on a second hat trying to do something else with him. See, Magical Scientist doesn't just FTK. He also summons Chimeratech Rampage Dragon. This enables him to Foolish Burial 4 of the Light Machine DRYTRON names, then add one back to get the ball rolling by making Super Heavy Samurai Swordmaster Musashi if you've got no spells engrave, or River Stormer for Garrus Glosser if you do. The end result is a wombo to end all combos, even if it is a little janky. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, our DRYTRONs. We've got 1 Ultimate Bright Knight Ursatron Alpha, 1 Beta Rostobon, we just need the name, 3 DRYTRON Delta Atlius, 3 Gamma Eltanine, 3 Nu 2, and 3 Zeta Aladaba. Now you may be wondering, where is Alpha? Alpha is a 33-point card, so he is in the bulk box. After that, we've got 3 No Material. Now, make no mistake, I don't think this is the next big hand trap in Genesys. It is our Small World Bridge. We got 1 copy of Dad and 1 copy of DMD, and then a Garrus Glosser, a Betos Buster, 3 copies of Nova, 1 Magic-y Mafty, which honestly is a little suspect, but you can tribute the monster that you summon off of Magical Scientist for the Betos Buster, triple Small World, triple Where Arf Thou, double DRYTRON Fafnir, triple Magic-y World, a Meteonis DRYTRON, a Magic-y Unlocking, a Magical Scientist, and a Sauravis the Ancient and Ascended for our other pointed main deck card. In the extra, we've got Ensemble Robin, Sylvan Princess Sprite, Vimana, Valen, the Super Sai Sky Blaster, River Stormer, Dragon Gate, Bouncer, M7, Musashi, Ansiobolus, Chimeratech Rampage X2, Blazing Bombardment Beast, Divine Scorpion Beast of Circuit, and Sea Monster of Theseus. The 6s are meant to either blow up the board going second or make Photon Strike Bouncer going first. The Rampages turn into a Vimana or a Valen based on the matchup. Sea Monster of Theseus and Musashi can be the other 5 in Best of All Possible Worlds hands. M7 is for a 6 going second. Dragon Gate is to help push through damage. And Sylvan Princess Sprite is a Hail Mary. In the side, we've got 2 Cosmic Cyclone. That's all of our points. A Meteonis DRYTRON, so we don't lose to Crow post board. 3 Eater of Millions, 3 Shared Ride, 3 Final Bringer, and 3 Alpha the Master of Beast, because we are very constrained about what we get to play in the extra by the unbelievable lock on the DRYTRONs. So with that, let's hop in a game. Our match is up against Resonator, so just 2 big sexy combo decks passing each other like ships in the night. We're going first, and we've opened Magical Scientist, so, that's good. We'll activate the effect of the Magical Scientist, take 1,000 for a copy of Chimeratech Rampage Dragon. Our opponent's going to go Red Lotus King Flame Crime, which does nothing. We'll activate both Chimeratechs in order to send 4 of these powerful DRYTRONs to the yard before insulating our combo with a Vimana. We'll go for Magical Scientist next, and because our opponent committed to the board, we're going to go for the Bombardment Beast and Flame King of Circuit, so we can go for a copy of Photon Strike Bouncer. Afterwards, we will Fafnir for a Nova. We'll activate the Nova to get a copy of Nu 2, and Nu 2 in order order to grab Ursatron Alpha. From here, we can go ahead and activate from the yard the effect of our Zeta to cycle and grab the ritual spell, follow it up with the Ursatron Alpha in order to grab a Nova for next turn, and then send that Ursatron Alpha to the yard so that its terrible stat line doesn't clog it up. We'll draw off of our Delta, then overlay for a copy of Ensemble Robin. Here's where I screw up the zone math. I got a little greedy making this Strike Bouncer. Usually it's not part of the end board, but here we just had everything already. So as a result, we get our Draconids, but we can't float. That's not too big of a deal because this board just beats everything. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper for Soul Resonator. Not used to seeing not Rico off that. They'll then go Soul Resonator. We will activate Photon Strike Bouncer, and they will proceed to the battle phase, walk over our 0 defense Nu-2, and pass turn. This should be the end of the game. We'll draw for turn. It's a Garrus Glosser. Let's just go ahead and overlay for Dragon Gate, activate the effect, and they'll scoop. So it's time for game 2, and wow, we found Scientist again, huh? Well, we've got one thing we wanted to draw going second, but against a deck like this, we'll need more than that. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Soul Resonator for Bone Archfiend, and our worst fears are realized as they discard a Crimson Resonator for the Bone Archfiend. Oh, that is just disastrous. Okay, from here they can pretty much do anything they want. They are going to do so using the Bone Archfiend to set a copy of Obsessive Uvuloop on their way to Red Rising Dragon, bring back the Crimson. Crimson will trigger here. They're going to summon from deck a copy of Synchron and a Red Resonator, which is going to gain them 2,100 life points. Down comes Vision Resonator, and they're going to make a copy of Scarred, which gets them a Crimson Gaia. Next, they are going to activate the Vision Resonator in Graveyard, cycle back the Obsessive Uvuloop, and after that, they're going to go for a Bestial Dispotter into a Red Dragon Archfiend, followed by a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, cycling back the Vision. From here, they can activate the hand effect of Uvuloop to summon itself, and now that they've banished the Scarred Red Dragon Archfiend, bring that back with this Potter to enable an Archfiend Bane. Finally, they'll tribute the Uvuloop for the Scarred Dragon Archfiend to their side of the field, and the Crimson Gaia to get a soul for next turn. This is a really cool combo. They'll set one card. I don't think it's going to work. We got to try and bait out the negate, so I'm just going to go Delta, pitch Gamma to summon back Delta. They're not biting. We'll go Sylvan Princess Sprite. We'll chain the Final Bringer. It doesn't even contest the Bane because they have Soul Resonator in Graveyard. They're going to bring back the RDA, and oh, fine, I'll try the Magical Scientist. Unsurprisingly, it is negated by this Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, so I figure I'm going to go out on my own terms and activate the non-once per turn effective Magical Scientist 8 times in a row with no way to resolve it. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and I know it may look as though I have access to Magical Scientist, but I boarded out of no material. Don't make my mistake, kids. Still, we're going to use this small world to get something. Nu-2 should do it. It's certainly better than the Garrus Glosser here. Afterwards, we're just going to go ahead and summon out this copy of Gamma, pitching the Nu-2, and of course we can special pack the Nu-2, triggering its effect in order to grab from deck to hand a copy of Dad. From here, we can summon out this Ursatron. That will get us from deck to hand a copy of Fafnir. Fafnir can get a Nova, and we are still missing the spell, so we will use it to get Zeta so we can get a Meteonis DRYTRON later in the combo. To do that, he needs to get into the graveyard, so let's overlay for a copy of Sylvan Princess Sprite, and we hit a Delta here, so we can theoretically draw 2. We'll try that. They will Skullmeister, probably the wrong Meister. Instead, we will bring back the Nu and then activate the effect of our Zeta. We now have the requisite material on board for a hot Meteonis DRYTRON. Down comes Dad. We'll make a copy of Dragon's Gate. We will cycle back this copy of Meteonis DRYTRON, set a card, and pass back to our opponent, who will immediately activate Dark Ruler no more. Okay, well, good I didn't go into Magical Scientist then. They're going to go for Stone Sweeper for a Soul Resonator. Then, of course, out comes the Soul Resonator. This is terrible news for us. They grab the Bone Archfiend, but we still have one trick up our sleeve. When they summon the Bone Archfiend, they don't pitch a copy of Crimson, which means they need to activate the Bone Archfiend effect to get a Crimson into Yard, but we can modulate the level of the Bone Archfiend with the Fafnir we have. That forces them onto Kui Belt, and they pop our big boy, allowing us to float into DRYTRON Meteonis Draconids and pop their board. After this, it should just be a hop, skip, and a jump to lethal, bringing back this copy of Delta. We will activate the effect to draw, and hey, we can even activate that counter trap that we were sitting on. Nu-2 comes down for a copy of Gamma afterwards. We are just going to go ahead and fire off the Meteonis DRYTRON because this is a machine for Betos Buster for Mafty, and I think this is lethal. We'll switch our monster to attack, last card in hand, Valor. Good thing we didn't go in on Scientist, and 11, 2, 2, and 4. Looks like we end up walking with the set after all. So we're back with the deck, and I'll take it. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1, this combo does win you the game. Like, nothing in this format is playing through the full setup. 2, despite the lock into normal and special summons, there's actually a pretty reasonable suite of monsters with which to play. Alphan, Eater of Millions, they all do a great job of shoring up your going second plays. And 3, even if you do get interrupted, you still get to play DRYTRON. And the cons. 1. So if you get interrupted, you get to play DRYTRON, but DRYTRON without Fafnir is fucking terrible. The best you can hope for is going -3 on a dad. 2, it has an awful time going second. Both the DRYTRONs and, of course, the Scientist require you to maintain board presence, which is all but impossible into a setup combo. And 3, what if they negate Scientist? All in all, don't play this.